Hello, everyone. I think I'm live on YouTube. I don't know. All right, I turned the mic on Discord. So if anyone is on Discord and wants to just say something for a mic check, please do.
Mic check. 1, 2.
Thank you. Let me keep this to the side. Does anyone see this on YouTube? Let me check my phone. Okay, I see it. All right. All right, now we'll try to present. Oh, thank you, DC. All right. So, I don't know how this, I'm trying to share screens, but this is, good morning, George. Hello, Joel. Hello, R.o.D. Reddick. So I'm pulling up, I'll pull up some of the spreadsheets. I'm going to try to figure this out, though. There you go. All right, can anyone see my, you just see my face, right? Share. All right, so it's making me go to preferences, so I'll have to do one thing at a time. All right, first we'll check Tesla, see how it's going. So obviously, you know, the whole market is going down. Tesla is at 171.71. So that's pretty much the sweet spot. That's where we need to close out the week, because the break even, as mentioned in this morning's video, is about 171, 171.81. And that's pretty much where Tesla is at. So that's where we would want to close for the week. Let me go to check out the comments. All right, so if anyone wants to talk about something, I guess you could say it on the YouTube comments or just talk on Discord. Got my YMAX dividends. Any recommendations of what to buy? I mean, it depends. Everything's on sale today. It looks like crypto is tanking. Microsoft's not. I got my swing trading account up. Buy more YMAX. Morning, R.o.D. Hello, Sultan. Yeah, I don't know. It depends what your average is, what you own, what you want to buy. Good evening from Kuala Lumpur. Is that a place? I don't even know. Also, if people have StreamYard and they want to join the conversation, feel free. Because I'm new to all this crap and can't really figure it out. Obviously, it's a work in progress.
Good morning, Rod. I got a quick question for you.
Sure. Who is this?
I started doing, this is Thor Lafer on your Discord.
Okay.
I started doing a spreadsheet kind of inspired by the template that you've got running on Nvidia last night. I was wondering if you had any of Nvidia's numbers from the previous weeks of this month.
No, I haven't started tracking Nvidia yet. That's going to start, I believe I said April. So I have no historical data. I mean, I could pull up Nvidia on the website if that helps, just to see what they got going on. So you're tracking it like I do, like with the trades and everything to that detail?
Yeah, I found on the YMAX site where they've got a list of all their holdings and could download that with a spreadsheet, basically doing a setup a lot similar to yours, just not in that great of detail. And from what I seen last night, looks like they're going to win on their covered calls this week, and they're still winning just barely on their synthetics. But that's just for this week since I just started tracking it. And I just didn't know if anybody had any of the previous for this month to see where we're at. Because as of last night, it looks like, if my math was right, about 29 cents is what they're winning at this week as far as dividends.
All right, so I'm looking at their holdings. There's a lot going on here. Let me see if I can export it. You know who might have this information is Corey. Okay. Oh no, you're not going to be able to see this screen. All right, I'll have to look at it through this lens here. All right, so let's see. They got their synthetic looks to be 915. What is Nvidia's price actually?
$869.32 at the moment.
Okay. Yep. All right, so their synthetic expires May 17th, so that's kind of irrelevant at the moment. Their other part of the synthetic is down here. Then they have two weekly calls, a 975 and a 1020. So needless to say, those look pretty good. But yeah, anything prior to this week, I don't know. Nvidia last week, I don't think Nvidia. I think it was kind of up and down. I'm not. So they may have been winning their trades. But again, if you can hear me and you're available, feel free to jump in. If you want to share, how Nvidia's been doing. You know what I'm talking about? Happy Camper YouTube. I don't know if you watch her. How do you say this? Thorleafer.
And you just call me Thor. That's what everybody does.
No, there you go. Yeah, so happy Camper will have this information. But yeah, I'm gonna start tracking them as of the next declaration date, and I'm probably gonna drop Misty. So should be fun. But yeah, share what you have in the Discord though. Curious to see how it's going.
Yeah, I'll get that cleaned up later tonight. Like I said, I just started messing with it last night, and Seems promising, but I'll get it posted in the Discord later this evening after I clean it up a little bit, make it a little bit more comprehensible.
Sounds good. Thanks. Discord. What other funds do you own?
Basically, right now I'm in Tesla, Coney, YMAX, Nvidia, and I've got a few shares of Tesla, but that's about it. I'm on the bottom end of the trader spectrum at the moment, but slowly working toward that.
Yeah.
Retire on dividends.
That's the goal, right? If only. All right. Who else should I?
I had to take a look at it as one bill at a time. So it started off with just what does it cost for my streaming services for my family? You know, the Netflix and all that. What's that bill every month? And then work toward getting enough dividends every month just to pay that bill, and then work to the next bill and the next bill, and just slowly build up instead of looking at the entire bills every month as a whole. Just knock off one bill at a time by growing the portfolio.
Yeah, it's like what can the dividends I made this month cover, right? Can it cover the mortgage? Can it cover the car payment? And then kind of build it up from there. But it's funny because until these came out, that wasn't even a thought for me. Like breaking $100 a month was a miracle, you know. And then these came out. It's like, damn. All right, I'm pulling up Coney. Coney is right now it's still 13.52% out of the money. Let me make sure the price updated. Coin is at 227.22. Yeah, so that Coney's looking good. And let's check Misty. Wow. I guess they're tanking again. They're 34 and 39% out of the money now. So whoever the fund manager is on Misty is they know what they're doing. Rod Reddick says loading up on Tesla, good or bad? What do you think, Thor? Is it good or bad?
Honestly, Tesla at the moment, I'm a little skeptical. My view was simple: as long as they stay above 50 cents a month on dividends, I'm willing to keep them. But if they start averaging below that 50 cents, then I'm probably going to be stepping out on Tesla. Honestly,
yeah, it's the hardest stock that to work with this strategy that they're doing, because since the implied volatility is not really, it's high, but it's not all that high. It's not high enough for them to go further out of the money, unfortunately. And days like yesterday, which obviously, kind of came back down today, but days like yesterday happen, and then we'll just never capture the full upside, when it does ever recover. So it's yeah, if I was to choose, I wouldn't choose Tesla, out of all their funds. I would choose AMZ. I would choose, oh, there's Happy Camper. Let me see if she has any information. All right, so look at that haircut. Yep, I got a haircut. Still receding, but still there. Redfish says, I've been doing calculations all morning, and my conclusion is I'm losing confidence in Defiance ETFs. Well, the market, today's not the best day to look at pretty much any fund except Apple and Microsoft. She said she'll try. Okay. So if anyone has questions, oh, I can hit show. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, there you go. Okay. Gotta love technology. All right, let's see who's on Discord. All right, Corey's on the Discord, Thor. So Corey, if you can hear us or join, let us know how Nvidia's doing, at least the prior 2 weeks if you have it.
Hey, yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, let me pull it up on my computer real quick here. Scroll over. So if we look at the first week, since the declaration, just to give you a summary, so the short calls, they made 130,000, but on the synthetic, they ended up having to pay out almost $5.4 million. But then when you look at the second week, which is last week, for their short calls, they brought in 5.15 million. And on their synthetics, they brought in 46,000. This week so far, obviously we've only had one trade. So one day, yesterday they brought in 106,000 for their short calls and 205,000 for their synthetics. So if we look at all of those, because that's lots of numbers that I just put out, if we look at the overall of those 2 weeks and the extra day for this week, these short calls, they brought in 5.4 million, but for the synthetic, they've paid out 5.1 million, therefore totaling both of those together 263,000. Hopefully that's what you were looking for.
So what was the end result? 263,000 income the last week or two?
If we combine the synthetic and the short call together, the total income is $263,660
for last week.
No, for the last 2 weeks.
Last 2 weeks, okay. All right, so that's basically nothing.
Yeah,
but it's better than losing money. So
right.
For those of you
Sorry,
watching,
hopefully I did cut out and you could hear me good.
No, we can hear you. For those of you watching, Happy Camper with Dividends is speaking, and this is her channel. I'm sharing that on the screen so everyone can see, and then go and subscribe. She covers all of the funds daily, typically at midnight? And
yeah, that's what it seems like, because when I do it, I go over it at the evening with the holdings, the trades and the holdings together. And the holdings usually don't get posted until around 9 o'clock at night. So then I have to sort through all the holdings also with the trades that came in, look to see if there are any issues, and then do manipulations. And Ulti is a lot more time intensive to do all that kind of stuff. And I've had a lot of issues with trades not posting and stuff like that. So I've been having to email Jay a lot.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Appreciate that. Thank you. You got 58 videos already. Look at that.
Yeah, they pile up, those daily videos.
Yeah, they do. Anything else you want to discuss?
Not unless anybody has a specific question, I don't think. I know that, I put out that I had a phone call with Jay last week, and I did not get around to cleaning up all my notes and doing a video, but I do plan to do that. I'm going to try to do that slowly this week, and I'm going to also try to add in things that he tells me by email traffic also, because I have a lot of information from that as well. And then I have to figure out this issue with figure out what's going on with YMAX and YMAX trades and understand the information he gave me, so then I could share that information as well.
Yeah, Ulti seems like a nightmare. What are they? They're making new positions very frequently, it seems, right? On the Ulti fund.
Yes, they make daily trades. So far, it's been rare that they don't have a day of trades. I know at the beginning there was like 2 days they didn't do any trades, and I even compared the holdings just to make sure, since we've been having issues with the trades being uploaded. But yeah, it's usually daily trades, and some of these they may only stay in them 1 or 2 days. They've made their money and they get out. But some of these they've had from the beginning, so it just really depends on how it's going.
Yeah, I'm pulling them up now. Let's see who they have. 71% distribution rate, but they've been tanking, so that number is probably high.
Yeah, they have, as of last night, they have 20 tickers so far, 20 stocks or ETFs.
I like how they have Chewy.
Yeah, they have earnings this week. I went over that in my video last night too, because Max had mentioned something about one of them having earnings coming up. So 3 of these actually have earnings this week, at least 3 of them. Chewy is one of them. D-Local, DLO, was another one. And PDD, Pinduoduo, also has earnings this week.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but GameStop's in there.
Oh, is it? Oh my God.
Yep.
Wow.
It showed up yesterday.
Yeah, if I hit download holdings, it's going to open in numbers, and I don't know if I could share numbers on the screen. We got this technology. I've got to get used to it. I'm using StreamYard. I'm not sure if you ever use that. But
I have not. You know me. I don't know anything about all this stuff and all these platforms, so I'm doing the best I can. Now, if you want me to do Teams, because that's what I use in my job all day long, I'm good to go. But all this other stuff is, it's taking some time.
Yeah. Paul Deem says, "Who doesn't watch Happy Camper?"
He says what?
Who doesn't watch Happy Camper?
Probably a lot of people. We were joking on the Discord the other day where you wake people up in the morning and I put people to sleep at night, assuming my stuff even gets posted before they go to bed. He says lots of numbers and lots of data, and that's, my videos aren't for everyone. Which is why I did yesterday. I did sort of like a daily roundup of the YMAX single ETFs, just to see if some people would prefer that versus actually going through every single holding and every single trade. So we'll see how that goes this week. If it's not, if people don't like it that much, I won't do it. I just thought, I could get that knocked out.
Yeah. Claude says, "How are you managing these Defiance funds that are trending down?" So, same thing I've been doing is just going to buy on the X date and any drips after. The market's been, I'm going to pull up QQQY. Seems like everything's been going down lately. But, it is what it is. So QQQY.
We do have that call tomorrow, FMOC. So
yeah. Of course, when I'm in the office, so I'm going to miss. Well, hopefully it's not bad news. Hopefully, we can flip this around. But if it is bad news, I'm going to miss the discounts. But yeah, so QQQY, that's only down 0.31% today. That's not terrible. So do you have any interviews set up for your YouTube yet? Or are you still talking on the side?
You talking about me?
Yeah, you. The Happy Camper.
Yeah, y'all think I sound stupid when I go through my daily videos, man. That would be bad for the interview. I will say this last call with Jay, I had computer issues and I had to jump over to my iPad real quick. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't totally prepared. I had lots of questions. I was able to ask some of them, but my questions aren't necessarily what, some other people want to ask. Like, my stuff is like, when are the holdings usually going to be out there? What's going on? What about the trades? Who does what? Sort of like the inner workings, trying to figure things out. Now, I did ask some questions, that others would like to know about the YMAX and YMAG distributions and things. I just need to get my notes together because I don't want to do the video and then, misquote or missay something because I didn't clean all my notes up and try to get somewhat organized there. But
Yeah. So
yeah,
everyone's.
I don't.
Sorry. Good.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say a lot of people are complaining about the fines in the chat. So what I'm sharing right now, again, I added the total return percentage. This is without reinvesting dividends. This is with getting the dividends as cash. And total return for QQQY is 7.2%. And that's from September. So, I mean, that's still pretty good. I know it's not, what do we get? 60% yield, 50% yield. So obviously it's most of obviously is that, and obviously the net, the NAV decay, but overall, again, total return with just collecting cash, it's up 7.2% is what I'm showing as of yesterday. So it's not all that bad, at least in my opinion. Defines funds, just error your capital. See, let's see. QQQY hasn't closed over 17 since 2.9. Down means buying opportunity. Yeah, I gotta get like a mouse and another screen because this is hard. Don't drip them. Buy dividend growth stocks with dividends. I just bought 400K of IWMY this month. Red fish. Oh man. Red fish. How much in dividends is that going to bring you? What are your full-time jobs in finance? I guess that's for both of us. You want to answer that first, Corey?
Yeah, so I do work for the government, and I am a budget analyst, and I work with funds control and stuff. So my job is I work in Excel all day long, and I do work in lots of systems, different systems, and I pull together status of funds and stuff for people. But yeah, I do a lot of stuff like that, budget finance or budget analyst finance type stuff. It's just like government stuff, right? So it's a little bit different than you would be out on the civilian side.
Yeah. And I do accounting at a large, large company, and some of it's billing, some of it's, collections and all that. And then some of it's quarterly statutory accounting. But I live on Excel as well. I didn't use Google Sheets till I really started this channel, but I guess it's pretty much the same. But Excel for the formulas, at least for the stocks, I think was always easier, but I guess it helped in general. All right, what else? Other comments?
Mm-hmm. He said it looks like he brings in a total of 27,000 for his dividends, redfish on that 4K.
Oh man, gotta love that. With regards to price returns, anyone know how to have the underlying index show a selling of shares to mimic dividend distribution? Anyone know how to have the underlying index show a selling of shares? I don't know what he's asking. Dr. T, I have no idea what you're asking. I'm trading. There's a lot of comments here. I'm trading all these funds to expect that I will lose all my initial capital and generate forever income, and the total return will be infinite. Well, let's hope you don't lose all your initial capital.
Well, let's hope it'll be infinite, right?
Yeah. I don't have the money or income to do options myself. I'm lucky if I have 500 invested into YMAX. I don't make a lot of money to begin with. From DC. Hey, you got to start somewhere though, right? A couple hundred here, a couple hundred there. If anyone else is on Discord and they want to join the conversation, just start yapping. Yes, 400K, and I are ready to sell it. Oh, you're gonna sell your IWMY? You bought it already. I have 3 screens on my. Let me click it. Posting first. I have 3 screens on my job. One is for Outlook, one is for QuickBooks, and another is for Excel. Yeah, I work. Well, right now I'm working from home, and I use 3 screens as well. But for I don't use my, my work computer for this because obviously, need to keep it separate from that completely. Let's see what else. I'm waiting for the indexes to pull back before I do bombshell drop like redfish. There's Aunt Boogie. Hey everyone, hope all is well. Hey Aunt Boogie. Did you see Aunt Boogie dance, Corey?
What are you talking about?
Aunt Boogie World. He's in our Discord. He has a YouTube and he teaches people how to dance. So.
No, I have not seen that. I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, so if you need to learn how to dance, that's the channel to go to. I love that you upgraded from a phone and got a real computer. I love that. Yeah, finally. Canuck abroad. I upgraded. You can only do so much with the phone. I'm still going to do my daily videos, and you do all your videos on the computer, right, Corey?
So no, I've been doing mine on my iPad. On my phone, there's no way I could do that. And then on the computer, I've done a couple. And then the other day I was testing it once I got my mute button fixed. But honestly, the sound seems better on my iPad. I tried it with the microphone, and then I tried it just the regular computer, and it just sounded better on the iPad. So yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, the phone. I got so used to the phone that I don't even want to do my daily videos like on the laptop. I think I'd rather keep it on the phone. But we'll see. It's
yeah.
It's in the beginning it sucked because I couldn't figure out how to block certain things. I don't know if anyone had saw, but my earlier videos, I used to get text messages and I'd be swiping up the whole time. And then when I edit the vid, I'd cut off the video so you only see the top of the text because I never even knew how to turn off whatchamacallit, notifications.
Your older videos were golden. That's when you in that come up stage. Those were the golden ones there.
Oh yeah. If I go back, it's probably comical to even watch that. What's going on, Claude?
How's everybody feeling? And just to add on, what you and Corey have been doing is tremendously outstanding. And I can't say that enough.
Thank you. It's fun and entertainment, right? But
it's starting to, for me, it's at least last week, it was feeling more like a job, and it was not fun. I will tell you that right now. Last night was a little better. But yeah, I'm just doing what I can and working stuff in where I can.
Well, nobody told you to do every fund, So.
I know, but I was already pulling the data, so I was like, well, here it is. Ulti really is what's, like Jay said, he's like, you picked the hardest one, to try to track. I'm like, honestly, I didn't pick it. It picked me. It fell in my lap.
Yeah.
I started doing all the YMAX ones, and then that first week or second week, then all of a sudden there was Ulti, and then it was just downhill from there.
Yeah. Like I said, you should probably if you just did Ulti and focused on that, I think people would like that. It seems like people like that fund, but I haven't bought it, but because I just don't know what. Now that I know it owns GameStop, I don't think I'm ever going to mess with it. But I mean the implied volatility for GameStop is what is it now? 150% probably.
Let's see.
Claude, you trade GameStop with options?
Absolutely not. Nope. I have a real tight few items that I look at, and those are my ATM machines right there.
Yeah. Like Tesla. You do Tesla, right?
Yeah, so I just to give a little background, I do trade options. I do hold Tesla. I do hold QY, and I use the underlying to supplement and match the dividends that we receive as shareholders in those two accounts. I should say in those two holdings themselves.
Do you do the synthetic position? I think it's called what?
No. So basically, what I'll do is like Defiance. Let me see
Yeah.
if I can pull up this. Defiance will pay us, let's say, 80 cents on a specific month. You know, just as an example.
Yeah.
My job, as I manage my accounts that have QQQY in it, is to utilize the NDX or either the Qs through spreads of some sort, or zero DTE trading on my own to actually match that 80 cents. So by the end of the month, I can at least account for $1.60 or even greater that I've received in income in that account for those holdings. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been messing with
Same thing with Tesla. Same thing with Tesla. I'll use Tesla for that as well.
Yeah, Tesla. I don't know, man. I think I'm getting to the point where I'd rather just trade Tesla myself, at least
I hear you.
via
I hear
TSLL
you.
though. I'm not going
I'm
to trade
with you.
Tesla. I'm going to trade the cheaper version, the TSLL version. So
Yeah, Tesla is testing some people's patience right now. I'll put it
yeah,
to you like that. It's just to be mildly, I don't want to create no storms over here or nothing like that. But it's testing some people's patience.
yeah. No, it's a lot of people that I've seen, and at least in the Discord, have been selling out, and even people in the comments have been telling me that they're out, and the kind of the writing's on the wall with that one. It's just going to happen. It's going to tank, and then it's going to recover. It's going to tank slowly, unfortunately, and it's going to go up fast, and then we're not going to be able to capture. But I don't know. People love Tesla.
Here's
So
here's the question I asked myself one day looking at my account. I said, how many reverse splits can you survive, Claude? That sits in the back of my mind, as I'm going through things.
yeah,
That is a question.
I was joking. I forget who I said this to. I'm gonna make an R.o.D fund, and I'm gonna call it APE. We're gonna own GameStop, AMC, Bed Bath and Beyond, Nokia, and we're gonna have 5 reverse splits a month. So it'll be like a normal routine. That implied volatility would be, forget it. We'll pay a 300% yield dividend and have 5 reverse splits a month. It's just going to become routine at some point.
Yeah, yeah, you might be right on. You might be onto something with that right there.
Yeah. So what my plan is, which I don't think I explained this to anyone yet, but I own Tesla, and I'm trading options on TSLL. So right now, I'm doing like the, I got a sign, right? I own like 400 shares, and I'm essentially out of cash. But if I need cash to sell more puts to lower my average, I'm going to use my Tesla money, because to me, it's the same exposure. But eventually,
Absolutely.
I'll get out of Tesla. I'm not going to continue buying it though, because I'd rather own the other funds. I love how the YMAX works, but it's not going to work on every fund. And that's just the way it is.
The thing is, people just need to have a plan, because I mean, it's all fun and games. If we can just make the purchase, kind of have the set it and forget it type mentality, just sit back and just let the dividends come in. But this isn't that type of environment. So, you got to have some type of plan to manage, your either your expectations, manage your expectations, or manage your funds themselves. One or the other, if not both. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because am I echoing?
So is it just me, or did it seem like when Tesla was first running, it was running really well, and then all of a sudden their trades didn't quite make as much sense? It almost seems like the person that was managing Tesla got moved over to the Coney account, and then now Tesla's got the new guy running it.
That insider information we'll never know, but I hear what you're saying. You can see the performance, change drastically, which means it probably could be in a different set of hands.
Well, to be fair, they've been winning their weekly calls, and they've been doing well. on that. So a lot of it lately is simply because of Tesla. But yeah, when Tesla recovers, like I'm not picturing them doing a 5%, a 10%, out of the money strike. I'm still picturing the 3%. And it's just like it's because their IV, they're basically telling us their IV is 50%. So they're trying to yield that as their yield. So which means they have to sell calls close to the money, and they can't worry about what Tesla's doing. So I don't know. In the beginning, yeah, I think they played it safer, to be honest. That's what I saw. And now it's like the I don't give a crap phase. I'm gonna yield you this. If it blows through, who cares? We got the synthetic, and if we do a reverse split, so be it. But if you look at other funds like Amazon, Facebook, AMZ, Phoebe, these funds are killing it, man. It's just like, but it's like they work perfect for them, like in my opinion. But Tesla's, man, it's tough. It's a tough one.
The recovery of Tesla won't be through the option sales. It's going to be through the synthetics. Once Tesla starts to recover, that's when the synthetics will light up, and that's where the recovery will come from, literally.
Yeah, when it starts flying up, if the implied volatility goes up, then maybe we'll recover a lot of it. And if it happens over a few, more than 1 week, like if it happens in 1 week, you can just forget it. We're shit out of luck, right?
Which we know can happen with Tesla. we know that can happen.
Yeah, the 217.50 back in November.
Yeah, that gave everybody pain. I remember that.
I'm gonna if I have Jay on, I'm going to ask that question. I'm just gonna say, like, do you remember the 217.50? And just see what he says. I'm curious to see, like, if he even like remotely thinks about that. All right, someone said, R.o.D, what is your expected yield on QDTE and XDTE, the weekly guys? Also, you are awesome. Thank you, Coyothis Gamer. Their yield, I forget. I think I'm getting funds mixed up at this point. That's the daily, I think, covered calls, right? They don't sell overnight. They're probably going to be lower, I think. If I was the 20-30% range, I would think. I think that's Roundhill he's talking about. I'm starting to think 20% is the sweet spot. You can get a 20% yield and a respectable, capital appreciation. When you start hitting the 30%, 40% plus, it's not easy to have both.
So that brings up a good question that you just said, as far as getting funds mixed up.
Yeah.
With so many of these cover call, zero DTEs, credit spread type funds that's coming out to generate these incomes, do you find yourself trying to choose which one, or do you have, a specific set of funds that you have in mind for certain market conditions?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been just the YMAX, Defiance, SFall, SPY-I, and and that was pretty much it. Now it's becoming very crowded, and there's a lot of options where you can, I guess, come up with a strategy, like that. But I don't know. Again, these my whole thing is kind of changing because, again, I'm starting to do options myself again, and I stopped for a while, and I was like, I'll just pay for people to do it, and then now that I'm doing it myself, I kind of want some funds on the side for that. So I'm as far as like the high yields, I kind of like the Defiance ones easier. Again, the index based. And I know Coney and Misty, that's going to go away at some point. You know, that yield, and it's going to be, it could get ugly. So I'm okay with, as far as yield max goes, for that strategy. Just, you know, essentially like the YMAG funds are the good ones. So I don't know. I need to start shrinking my portfolio. I was adding, you know, a lot of things, but I'm kind of shrinking the portfolio to. Happy Camper says my connection is bad. Can everyone hear me fine and see me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Do you see the YouTube, or are you just on the audio?
Hold on, let me go over there and take a look.
Yeah, I can see the YouTube and audio. You coming through fine.
Okay. See, it's Happy Camper's fault. See that? Messing me up. But yeah, my strategy always, it changes daily. You know what I mean, Claude? So
Yeah, yeah.
it's never set in stone. You know, the goal eventually, obviously, is to be able to retire on dividends and options. So how I get there, how long it takes, who knows? But Coach in his
See,
way.
that's kind of the thing, because there's so much shiny stuff out there. You hear what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And you know, when I was doing those videos back in late 2023, when I was evaluating Tesla, and I came up and I made a video where I was going to do my plan for 2024. I said to myself, I'm going to stick with Tesla and then eventually get into the QY. Okay. And, you know, I'm going to see it through. Like I said, there's management involved with that. But don't get me wrong. I have looked at that Coney. I have looked at that Nvidia. And there was a couple other ones that really made me want to, quote unquote, jump ship, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, I know I can't be the only one having those feelings. And I was just wondering how other people felt, because more products are just going to come.
Yeah.
They're just going to come. They're just going to start popping up, you know. And I was just wondering.
Yeah. I do like, I still like the idea of trading options, paying them to trade options on an individual stock, just because I can't, you know what I mean? But I'd prefer to be, you know, I like that we have the choice, right? Like I'm okay if they do Microsoft, right? And I'm okay if they do Amazon, whatever. But and then certain ones, you know, it's just, I'm realizing like I own, you know, some Coney, but realistically, am I comfortable with that one? Not really, right? Because it could flip at any time. It's crypto, but at the same time, it's small portion. So you know, if I was retired, it'd be a whole different story. I'd probably do a lot more options for sure, right? Like it's you know, but at the same time, I don't trust myself enough to do that. So I'm trying to do a little, trying to let them do a little, and I don't know, trying to find the right mix that time allows.
So that, continuing kind of off that question, with, you know, everybody's in the struggle and the hustle right now, trying to make as much as we can with as little investment as we can. And as you said earlier, with some of these are going to phase out. At what point do you look at, just, I'll use Tesla since that seems to be the one downtrending right now. At what point do you look at that and go, this is no longer, the risk is too high for the returns? When do you look at pulling that out and going, all right, well, maybe take this money and go to something a little bit safer instead of the high risk some of these ETFs are playing with now?
Yeah, so it depends where you're at in your life. Are you reinvesting everything? Are you living off some of the income? If you're living off all of the income, then yeah, I would not feel comfortable, you know, with some of these. I would only own certain ones. But you know, if you're able to manage and reinvest all, if not most of it, then I think these funds can work to an extent. Again, my strategy in the end is I need to be able to at least reinvest like 25%. You know, I have to, you know, make 75% livable. But yeah, some of these funds, they like YMAX. To me, I'm okay with YMAX. as a retirement option, right? Because they're, you know, they'll capture the ups of one and the downs of the other, and vice versa, right? So again, it's brand new fun, so we'll see how it goes. But like I said, the you're not going to get a 50-60% yield without the downside, right? So I don't know. Like I said, it depends on your goals. Like I'm swing trading too in my like I always say in my wife's 401k. Little does she know, right? No, it's so I'm trying to do one strategy here, and then I have a 401k, which is all growth, all index funds, growth. So I'm not worried about investing in growth stocks, only because I'm doing it, most of it in my my retirement account as is. So it all depends. Like I would do a little of everything. You know what I mean? Um, but it depends how old you are, where you're at in life, and your risk tolerance. But so like a loaded question, right? So Paul called me ugly, and then Sauced Red Sox said I'm good looking. So there you go. Crockefeller said howdy. Jay will say you need to reinvest it because it benefits him regardless. More money going back into the fund. Yeah. Says Junior Rodriguez. I hate that he says that, to be honest. I don't think he should say that. That's just my opinion. You know, like it's an income fund that you have to reinvest everything back. No, thank you. You know what I mean? I want an income fund that's going to pay a respectable income and I could leave alone, right? I don't want to, if I don't reinvest anything, I want it to be okay in the next, couple of years. So again, this is all new. So we're all learning together. We're all losing money together. Hopefully some of us, if you own Misty, you doubled your money already. Well, maybe not today. This week is awful, but they're doing pretty good.
Hey, so I need to address something if you don't mind for Ulti, if y'all can hear me okay.
Sure. I got like 7 minutes.
Okay. Well, somebody said something about the coach talking about yesterday and he showed the trades, right? And said that he got it from somebody. His response to me was a respectable source or whatever, that those were the trades for the day. And they were not. They were actually the holdings that were posted after close of date on Friday. So I just wanted to clear that up because somebody had mentioned about how they said that they had lost a bunch of money yesterday. Now, I'm not saying they didn't lose money, but I am saying what he was showing was just the holdings from close of business on Friday.
Look at Happy Camper setting things straight. All right.
So the Ulti trades were not posted to the website yesterday due to an issue. I'm sorry, the trades. I might have said holdings, but the trades themselves were posted.
I can't even imagine. I would probably quit if I saw their intraday trades and I was trying to track that. But I do it by hand though, so it's a little different. So some days I see the intraday trades and it's like a page long, and I'm like, why am I doing this? But I have not. I don't think I've skipped a day in like at least 4 or 5 months. I feel like I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a while. But the problem with my videos, like they're only good for that day, right? So, most people, they make YouTube videos, they talk about a fund, which could be relevant for quite a few months out, right? I make a daily video. It's pretty much good for that day or maybe even the next day, and that's it. But it's more like it's like a daily talk show, right? All right. So we got about 5 minutes using my whole lunch break. And I gotta go back to work. R.o.D, what do you think the payout will be for Coney with the 540 profits so far? It's definitely not gonna be 540. They're probably gonna preserve you know, some of that NAV. Let me pull it up real quick. So yeah, they're at 540 total income per share. And if they reserved $3.32, they'd have no NAV decay for the fiscal year. So then that means they could pay about 208. So I'll go with that number for now, which is pretty damn good. Anything over $2 is pretty good. Happy Camper, are you planning to do a guesstimate on Ulti?
Well, we just paid a distribution, so we have, 3.5 or so weeks left.
I know.
But if you
got to get ready.
Yeah, and it's hard to use the implied volatility, right? We could do that with these single stock ETFs, but this other one's all over the place, right? So, well, I haven't even tried to do calculations. And then, so I don't know. I will do it based off of the trades. At least I can tell you what they made or what they didn't. Before yesterday, I can tell you that they have not made enough to pay the last dividend they paid, right? Which means what they paid is going to be a lot of return of capital. But I will do the summaries of all the trades that I have received a copy of or pulled from the website.
You got to do the estimate. Everyone's waiting for that estimate, you know?
I know, right?
And then they'll yell at you when it's wrong. So, no.
I know, but we're still 3.5 weeks away.
Yeah. Now, I do mind the weekend. So sometimes I have a day, sometimes I have like 4 more days. But a lot can happen in those days. But
yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to do it because if I do it over the weekend, at least it's relevant for a few days. But if you do it one night, it changes. And if you can't do it the night before because they announce it so early. But Bob Davis is Bob Davis, you write the longest comments I've ever seen. I appreciate it. And it's hard to keep up with, but what else? We bought 50 shares today on dip. Now I have 3,500 and still positive. Would love $4. I assume you're talking about Coney, Gary. But Coney 208 sounds perfect. There you go. All right, so I'm glad this worked. Next time I'll have to figure out how I can share the entire screen. But yeah, or even Corey, if you're available, I could do I don't know if I could, if we both went live on StreamYard, would that go to your YouTube and my YouTube? Who knows?
I couldn't answer that. I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know either. But
I'm sure somebody else does that could let us know.
Yeah, it gets all complicated. But I'm going to try to have Sylvia on live eventually. I think that would be cool to have like everyone ask the questions and I'll just post them up and, ask them to her and go from there. Because that way, the first time around, it was pretty much just me. I mean, a lot of people did give me, some good questions, but my stubborn self, I still had, like in the back of my mind, I had too many questions myself, like at least for that first time. So the next time I'll just try to do a community question. There's Coach. I use Streamlabs to show Discord. Wow, to share Discord? Yeah, Streamlabs. I don't even know what Streamlabs is, but the screen of Discord. Yeah, there's too many freaking things. I can't keep track. And now I'm paying for Zoom, which I guess it doesn't. I don't know. But all right, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Corey, Claude, Thor, for joining the Discord. And I'll do this more often. I don't know if it's going to be a lunch break or a nighttime, but I'll figure out something and try to tell people in advance so we can have like a big party. But As always, guys, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. You know, it's just fun and entertainment. But hopefully when I hit end stream here, it'll post to YouTube or it'll get lost. I guess we'll find out and then we'll go from there. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining, and talk to you later. See you guys.
Bye.
Appreciate you.
Take care.
Take it easy.
Take care.